Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews unboxing. Today we're looking at the Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rohirrim Battle of Edoras. So first of all I want to say a massive thanks to Games Workshop for sending us this a little early to check out on the site. This is the brand new edition of the Middle-earth strategy battle game with the awesome new Battle of Edoras box to, I guess, celebrate the release of War of the Rohirrim. So before we crack on, I guess this is something we don't normally have to do, but a spoiler warning here, because obviously 2 weeks today is when the video goes out. The War of the Rohirrim will be out in cinemas. So there may be stuff within this box that actually has some spoilers for the film, certainly with the scenarios and the like. So just wanted to put that out there first. If you want to go into War of the Rohirrim blind, then you might want to watch this after the films come out. But yeah, this is a brand new edition of the game with an awesome, massive box filled with brand new miniatures. You know, it's been 20-something years since the first Fellowship of the Ring box came out, and over that time we've had a few editions of the Middle-earth strategy battle game. Obviously one for each of the main films. We got the Mines of Moria set with an updated rulebook, books for the Hobbit films, and then a couple of years ago we got the latest edition of the game. And this is the next edition, which is really, really exciting. If we turn this over, there's a lot of stuff in this box. So this is £140 and contains a heck of a lot of stuff. So first and foremost, we have got the full hardback rules manual. This is the brand new edition of the game. There will be new armies books coming out. I don't know when they're out. I don't know if they're out alongside this box or they follow it a little bit later. I'm not sure of that at the time of recording, but there will be books for armies of the Hobbit, armies for the Lord of the Rings, and I believe there's going to be another volume with armies with stuff from the books that isn't in the films, essentially. And then a lot of older kits are then going Legends, but they will have rules on the Warhammer community website. So whatever your collection, there will be rules for it. I think really the focus looks like it's going to be on stuff from the films or the books, as the kind of supported stuff, and then Legends for the stuff that GW's kind of invented on the sidelines. But yeah, you get that full hardback rulebook in here. You also get a 48-page supplement that is all about the War of the Rohirrim. So I assume this is going to be scenarios from the film and all the profiles as well. So that is in here too. You also get a full game map, which is nice to see. Range rulers. It's 2 of the Rohan buildings. They're really, really nice kits, and you can build them in lots of different ways. You could even put multiple ones together to build like Edoras. I really hope they re-release the kind of big bundle box they did. I've got one upstairs, and hopefully the plan is have all that built as well for when this video comes out. But then the really exciting bit are 2 brand new armies. Now I think it's safe to say for the Middle-earth strategy battle game, since the Hobbit films, we haven't had any new infantry. Yes, we've had some new plastic characters, we've had a lot of Forge World support, but one of the things that I think could really give the Middle-earth strategy battle game a shot in the arm are brand new miniatures, and we get those in abundance here. So there is a Dunland force and there is a Rohan force, both of which have got 2 new characters and a new infantry kit each. So we have got the Hill Tribesmen, I guess a new take on the Wildmen of Dunland. 24 of those, against 24 brand new warriors of Rohan. I really hope we get some new cavalry with them as well. The old Rohan kits are pretty old now, and with obviously War of the Rohirrim focusing on these factions, I'm pretty sure we might get some other waves of stuff following this with some new Rohan, so that'll be exciting to see. We also get 4 new characters as well. I believe we get these both mounted and on foot. So we've got Wolf, High Lord of the Hill Tribes, General Targ, Hammer, Prince of Rohan, and Hearth, Prince of Rohan. Again, really, really nice models there. You also get dice in the box of 2 different colours to make combats easy. This looks like it's going to be a really, really good set. And like I say, it's £140, which I don't think is a bad price at all for this. So in this video, what we're going to do is have a look through the miniatures, see what is in here, check out all the bits that you get. I think we're going to have a separate video where we go into a full kind of deep dive into the rules manual itself. I'll have a quick flick through in this video, but I think that deserves its own video to go through the changes in the edition and stuff. So we're going to really focus on the contents of War of the Rohirrim here. And then in the second half of the video, we'll have these all built and painted. The plan is as well, if we get these all done, we're going to have a battle report as well, showing off the new edition of the game. So hopefully there should be a lot of Middle-earth content up on the site today. But without further ado, should we turn this open and have a look at what is inside? So if we lift the lid off here, and we can see it is a fairly full box here with lots of goodies in. Straight away we get a nice range ruler that looks like it is hinged. I think that was in one of the older boxes. So if you do need a ruler, you've got one there, which is handy. And then a load of miniatures. We'll put the bases to one side. The majority of these look like they're on 25mm with 40mm for the cavalry, so nothing too unusual there based on old Middle-earth models. But we've got the brand new models, so if we slide this out of the way, we'll start looking at these now. In a bit of a departure from the older kits, because like I say, it's been at least 10 years since we've had new plastic infantry for Middle-earth. We get kind of a more modern sprue. It does remind me of kind of the more kind of recent Games Workshop kits where they cram a lot more onto them. You know, a lot of those old Lord of the Rings models were very, I guess, low part counts and fairly basic to build. These already look like they've got more parts than any kind of Middle-earth infantry we've had yet. So we've got the Dunland here. It looks like there's potentially multiple different builds here. We'll have a look at the instructions in a little bit, but I do wonder, it does look like we've got weapon options for each model in the set, which is interesting because obviously a lot of the older Middle-earth kits, well, they kind of came out, didn't they? Now obviously I assume bow limits are still going to be a thing, but like even here it looks like we've got a choice of a bow or a melee weapon. There might be two different bodies there. Again, we'll see more of that when we get to the instructions later on. But the detail on these is really, really nice. If you are kind of getting into Middle-earth and want two armies, this does seem a really good way to do it. Yeah, they are very, very nice. So you get two of those sprues, each sprue building 12 models, so 24 models there. We also get the brand new Rohan kit as well. So like I say, it's at least 20 years since the Two Towers box came out with those original plastic Rohan infantry, and while they were really, really nice kits, these do blow them out of the water. Like I say, for the cost of the box as well, I mean, me and Jay are going to be splitting this with him doing the Rohan and me doing the Dunland force. I do have a big Rohan army, and I would really like to kind of replace some of those older models with a new one, so I am tempted to pick up another one of these sets just to pick up the other models. But yeah, these are very, very nice. So that is the new Rohan. Again, you get 24 of them across two identical sprues. We also get a couple of new characters on here as well. So this looks like is that the Rohan? I think this is the Dunland sprue maybe. But this has the two new characters. And like I said, even though they're pictured with only one mounted on the back of the box, you do get both of the characters on horse and on foot. Again, at the end of the video we'll have these built and painted so we can see what they look like in the flesh. But yeah, they look very, very nice. Again, big box. I've got a feeling, and I don't know again at the time of recording, I haven't got any insider knowledge here, but I've got a feeling we might see a release schedule similar to you know, Old World, Horus Heresy and Necromunda, where we maybe get quarterly releases with plastic support. That'd be very, very good. I think they've been cautious with new kits after The Hobbit maybe didn't sell quite as well. I've got a feeling this one's going to be more popular, especially if there's these brand new plastics as well. And then we have, this looks like the Rohan characters too. Again, we'll look at those in a bit more detail later on, but really, really nice kits. And I'm looking forward to getting these built and painted. Like I say, the Dunland characters I'm going to do, Jay's going to do these ones. So we'll have them all painted by the end of the video, but yeah, these are very, very nice. So looking forward to working on those. We also get two of the Rohan houses. So these aren't new kits, these are returning ones, but they are phenomenal kits. Now if you look at the kit, a lot of them are duplicate sections, so all the sprues are exactly the same, but because of the way that they're built with the different kind of sections to them, there's lots of ways you can put this together. You're not restricted really. It's basically like a Lego, for want of a better word. Those pillars basically go between the different panels, so you can make these walls longer by combining them. Again, all these bits combined, and there's pieces here to allow you to do kind of different shapes as well. So really, really clever kit. You get 4 sprues of these, which you can build 2 like standard houses, or you could probably bash them both together to make one bigger structure. I've got a couple of these built already, and I'm going to be planning on doing a whole well, ideally a whole little settlement, so you can play some scenarios through there. But yeah, very, very nice kit. So that's all the plastic stuff in the box. Let's see what else is in here. So first up, I believe this is the game mat. So we'll move that to one side. Playmat, yeah, let's see what this looks like. I can tear this open. Again, Games Workshop have moved away from single-use plastic for a lot of the stuff, so there's no shrink wrap on the internal components anymore. It all tends to be in paper, like wallets and stuff, which is nicer. Let's see what this looks like. So, this looks quite nice. Now, obviously, it is just a mat, so you might want to kind of iron over it if you do want to get rid of these creases. It's not overly glossy as well. I've still got these big studio lights on, but that looks really nice, to be fair. Now I believe one side of this is kind of like plain, and then the reverse I believe has some objective markers on it as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, so you can see on here the reverse has got objective markers on, where the other side is kind of the unspoiled thing. I'd love to see them do these as neoprene mats. That's not something Games Workshop has done. I do think that's a shame, but there are a lot of third-party companies where you can pick them from. But yeah, I think that's a really nice mat, especially that it's bundled in with the box as well. So we also get the core rulebook. Like I say, well, we'll have a quick look through it now. We're going to have a look through it properly in another video. But this is the new edition of the game. Again, I haven't looked at this yet. There may be spoilers here, images of stuff from the film. But yeah, like I say, in another video we'll be having a full look at this and going through the changes and what's been updated and what's new for the new edition. That'll be a fairly thorough deep dive. We're talking probably a quite hefty video, so that will be most likely a separate video up today at the same time as this one, so it will be linked in the description if you want to check that one out after this. We also get a nice look at the models from the box as well. But in the other envelope, if we move that to one side, I believe this will have the assembly instructions and the supplemental manual as well. So if we open this up and have a nosy. So what have we got? So first of all, we get a nice quick reference sheet. So with all your different things in there. Again, I haven't read the new rules at the time of filming this segment, but that looks really handy. It's a shame there's not 2 of them in there really, but that's cool. And then you get the War of the Rohirrim Battle of Edoras supplement. So what we're going to do is have a flick through this now and yeah, dive into what's in here. We've got the scenarios and profiles in here. The assembly instructions are in there too, so that's good to see. I am surprised they're not in another little pamphlet, but hey, they're better presented in here. So if we have a look through here, nice little introduction to the game and everything that's in there. And then yeah, scenario 1 first assault. So it looks like we've got various scenarios here to teach how to play the game. This first one we've got 6 warriors of Rohan with shield, 6 with throwing spear and shield, and then the evil side we've got 2 hill tribes with hand weapons, 2 with hand weapon and light shield, 4 with spear and 4 with two-handed weapons. Now that's interesting, we've got a light shield rule, so that it suggests we're going to have multiple different shield types in the edition as well. The gates fall, and again, in the box we get the 2 buildings, but you can see by using some of that additional Rohan scenery, you are going to be able to, you know, make it a bit more cinematic and thematic. Looks like this scenario then introduces your characters. Torch the city. Again, bigger forces. Looks like this is a bit of a siege. So the scenario represents one of the pockets of hill tribesmen setting Edoras alight, and Haleth attempting to put a stop in their relentless advance. Introduces a few new concepts, particularly use of unique special rules in narrative scenarios. So again, it looks like it gradually talks us through the different kind of mechanics of the game, so you can play through this supplement to learn how to play the game. Last Stand of the Princes. So Edoras has been overrun and set alight. The Rohirrim are making their last stand. This scenario represents the attempt of Halth and Hammer to escape, but also Wolf trying to slay the sons of the king. This is your first full scenario and gives you a chance to use all the rules you've used in the previous scenarios. It's the big final battle of the box set. So this looks like it uses the whole contents, and it is kind of your first full game of Middle-earth. So is it just the 4 scenarios? Yeah. So it looks like we just get the 4 scenarios then, that basically teach you how to play the game, introducing new concepts as you go along. We then get the full profiles of everything in the box as well. So, again, we'll have a look at the full rules kind of in another video, but let's see, we've got Wolf, High Lord of the Hill Tribes. Now there's no points values here, interestingly, unless they're in another page. I suspect that content will be in the you know, the books that follow this. But let's have a look at him. He has got strength of 4, defense of 5, 3 attacks, fight value of 6, 3 might, 3 will, 2 fate. He can heroic challenge, strength and strike. And then the Usurper King. If Wolf is engaged in combat with an enemy hero, he may reroll a single d6 during the duel roll. Additionally, Wolf must reroll the 2 wound rolls of a natural 1 when making strikes against an enemy hero. Interestingly. The General Targ. So, Dunlending Commander. While General Targ is still alive on the battlefield, if you win the roll to choose who has priority and choose to give priority to your opponent, then until the end of the turn, friendly Dunland warriors can reroll wound rolls of 1. That's interesting. Kind of a support hero kind of stats, fight 5, strength 4, defense 5, and then 2s for might, will and fate. And then Hill Tribesmen. So, Hill Tribesmen can give one of the following options: bow, flaming brand, light shield and flaming brand, spear or two-handed weapon. So it looks like we've got a lot more different options for the tribesmen with this book. I assume in the box you're going to get assortment of those weapons as well. Flaming Brand. A model with a Flaming Brand has the Terror Cavalry and Terror Beast special rules. That's interesting. Additionally, a model with the Flaming Brand counts as 2 models rather than 1, working out how many models are within range of an objective marker. So obviously causing terror to cavalry and stuff might be useful. Again, if you expand these armies and you've got cavalry and the like for the Rohan side, they'll be quite useful. So that's cool. Hatred Rohan as well. Yeah, they look fun. I'm liking all the different options on these as well. And it looks like the construction guide's in the middle. If I missed the Rohan, I have missed the Rohan profiles. 2 pages flipping over at once there. So, for the good side, we've got Haleth, the Prince of Rohan. Again, fight 6, strength 4, defense 6, might 3, will 2, fate 1. Defenders of Edoras. Whenever Haleth is outnumbered, if he wins the duel roll, he can re-roll any 2 wound rolls when making strikes. We've got Hammer, Prince of Rohan. The Warrior Poet. Hammer may spend a will point at the start of any fight phase to use this ability. If he does, friendly Rohan models within 6 inches of Hammer may re-roll the 2 wound rolls of 1 when making strikes. And then Warriors of Rohan can have bows, shields, or shields and throne spears. So again, very similar to how they were in the previous edition. Spear Mastery. The model may use its throwing spears as a normal spear during the fight phase, as long as it hasn't made a shooting attack with it in either the preceding move phase or shoot phase. They are really nice new models as well. So that's all the profiles of stuff in the box. We then get some suggestions on kind of what to add to the forces, which is nice to see. So adding the likes of Helm Hammerhand, King of Rohan, and Hera, Daughter of Helm, to fight alongside Health and Hammer. So obviously the Hammerhand model we do have in a separate video having a look at today. I don't know if we've seen the Daughter of Helm yet in model form. I know she seems to be a main character in the anime. So yeah, that's cool. And then for the Hill Tribes again, similar, it suggests picking up some of the other characters as well. And it also mentions that you can take Rohirrim traitors as well. So that's cool. There is a character who basically, I think he's leading some like defective Rohan. So you can actually have some Rohan models mixed in with your tribesmen, which is cool to see. And then there's also suggestions for both of them for using them for Lord of the Rings era armies as well. Obviously as part of an Isengard list, or as a as a Rohan army with Helm's Deep or something perhaps. So yeah, that's really, really cool. So then we get the construction guide. We'll have a quick look through here just to see how they are built. It looks like we do have a few different head variations and the like here as well, which is cool. So yeah, that's cool. Even different weapon options as well. So lots of modular parts on these kits, which is nice to see. If we flip over to Hammer, and again, similar situation here, but we've got different heads on there. Really, really nice looking models. I'm looking forward to seeing these kind of completed. They do look very nice. And then we've got the Warriors of Rohan. So it looks like I was wrong on these. There's not multiple different weapon options on them. They're just more parts and more detailed than those old ones. So you have kind of got fixed loadouts of what gear you've got. For the purposes of the scenarios in here anyway, it looks like it is kind of fixed list of gear that you need for your forces. And then obviously once the armies of the Lord of the Rings, armies of the Hobbit come out, you probably get your points values and your ability to tailor your forces some more. I don't know when these books are out. I'm hoping soon after this box. But yeah, these are very, very nice kits. And then on to the evil side. Wolf High Lord of the Hill Tribe is an amazing looking model. Really looking forward to working on him. And then General Targ as well. Less options for heads on these ones, but they look really nice. And then on to the Hill Tribesmen. So it does look like for these you do have options for your weapons like we thought earlier. So that's nice, you can get a different mix of gear there. So you will want to think about that, because obviously when it comes to the game as well, points values will matter. So for playing the scenarios in this book, what I'm going to do is make sure that I've got enough armed with brands to represent that. Hopefully there's enough figures to have a nice mix of everything though. All the bow armed ones are kind of built kind of as they come. For the real decision is really going to be on these ones, whether you want them armed with like swords and shields, brands and shields. It's going to be one of those where I definitely double check what you need in the scenarios if you want to play through this. Obviously if you just do normal match play games, once the points come out, you might want another box of these to have an assortment of different loadouts anyway. But yeah, very, very nice. And then instructions for building the Rohan house as well. Like I say, there are lots of different ways of putting this together as well. We can see from the front there, there's a few different porches on there. And while it's not displayed on here, there are quite a few ways of kind of building this with multiple kits as well. So you can have longer buildings, taller buildings. It is all fully interchangeable, which is really, really cool. There's lots of little accessories and doodads on there too. So yeah, that is a look. Oh, we have got profiles on the back as well. So a little kind of a brief summary in less detail than that full quick reference guide. And then also summarised profiles at the bottom as well. So what we're going to do now is jump to the future. We've got these all built and painted, and we'll have a chat about the finished models. So it has been a pretty busy few weeks, but we've managed to get the content of the Battle of Edoras box for War of the Rohirrim painted up, and yeah, really, really impressed with this box. Now, this is pretty much everything that you get. You got the two buildings, all the Dunland, the Rohan here. There's another 12 guys that aren't painted yet. they are all identical sculpts. So where the Dunland, you have got some different head options, so you can have your kind of horde of 24 of them looking different. For the Rohan guys, the 12 will always be in the same pose with the same heads and everything, so that's just something to bear in mind if you are doing them. They are amazing kits though, and a massive step up from the stuff that we had previously. If you have a quick look at the buildings, I've got one of them painted up, just a quick job with the airbrush to get this ready for the video. Really, really nice kits. Now if you've not worked on these before, they are very modular. So if you look at the other one, you can see I've put like the porch and the door in a different position. And there's lots you can do with there. There's different like skylights, and you can extend them out, and really the sky's the limit with these. I've put 4 of these together to make a bigger grand hall, if you want to kind of go for that Edoras kind of vibe. It's something you can definitely do with those kits. Now you get 2 of them in the box. I believe that they are still available separately as well if you do want to put together a Rohan kind of village. I am surprised they've not re-released the kind of Rohan settlement box, which had, I think it had 6 of these kits and 2 watchtowers in there, because that was a really, really good set for kind of building up your own Edoras. But yeah, onto the miniatures. Jay has been painting up the Rohan models, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Some of the best models that Games Workshop have done for a long time, certainly for Middle Earth as well. I had a Rohan army back in the day, and yeah, these just absolutely blow them away. Really, really nice detail on them. Really fun to paint up as well. So if we look at the two characters, which have very, very nice sculpts. I'm looking forward to painting up these guys myself for my own Rohan army. And the good thing with this box as well, even if you're not planning on collecting a War of the Rohirrim era army, these will be just fine for using in a War of the Ring kind of era army as well. All for pre-order today alongside the box is the armies of the Hobbit and the armies of the Lord of the Rings books, and they've essentially got your army lists in. So yeah, if you are looking to collect a force, you probably want to pick up that. Like we saw earlier, we just get the profiles in this book, we don't get the points values, and I suspect there'll be slightly more fleshed out profiles in the main army book as well. At the time of recording this, I don't know if a separate War of the Rohirrim supplement is going to come out. It wouldn't surprise me if it did, because obviously we only saw a few scenarios in this book, didn't we, in here, and Games Workshop, specialist games certainly, tend to have a lot of nice supplements, like they have in Horus Heresy and with Necromunda 2. So it wouldn't surprise me if they do release a separate War of the Rohirrim book with some more scenarios and rules and stuff in there. That's just a guess on my part. I don't know any insider information there, but I certainly wouldn't object to that, because it'd be nice to add to the collection. So let's look at most of the poses for the Rohan stuff, and they are really, really gorgeous. I'll have a quick look at the Dunland stuff as well. So I've been painting these guys up to match my existing Dunland army, and again, really, really nice kits. I've thoroughly enjoyed working on them, and I hope we get some more kits following this. Obviously for the Rohan side, new Riders of Rohan or Royal Guard would be amazing. For the Dunland, well, I've not seen the film yet. It's the day this box comes out is when the film comes out, but obviously in the trailers we've seen, you know, Mummox and kind of the Watcher in the Water and all that. So it'd be nice if we got new plastic kits for some of that stuff too. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, the lightness of these models are really good. And then we've got the Dunland Wildmen. And again, really nice sculpts. Now these have got a few more different options compared to the models that we had previously. So we've got models with bows, with flaming brands, with swords, with two-handed weapons, and with spears. And then for the ones where it's kind of obvious what they're taking, we've got options for shields as well. So you do get enough to give a couple of your guys with swords and or brands some shields as well. And yeah, the models are really nice. They're not a million miles away from the previous. In fact, I've probably got to hand an old Dunland Warrior somewhere, just so we can see kind of like scale-wise, they're pretty much the same, and style-wise, but obviously there's a lot more detail on the new ones. So if you have got an existing kind of Dunland collection, these guys will fit in, no problem at all. And again, you kind of get 12 kind of base bodies and then multiple different heads and stuff, just to make sure your kind of big mass of 24 of them look different. But yeah, really, really nice models. I'm excited to see kind of what comes next for Middle-earth. And speaking of Middle-earth, up on the website today, we've got loads of content. We've got a full article going into the War of the Rohirrim Battle of Edoras box. We've got a full write-up of the new edition of the game. We've also got a full video kind of deep dive into the new rulebook as well. So that'll probably be linked to this video. So it should pop up next for you to watch. If not, it is over on the channel. And in that one, we kind of dive into the full book itself and see what is new, what's changed, and kind of how it differs from the previous edition. Now, spoilers, there's no massive changes from the previous edition, but there's quite a few important sort of ones and some kind of tidying up and stuff. We've also got a video as well looking at the new resin characters from Forge World as well that are also up for pre-order alongside this box. So yeah, make sure you check that one out too. If you have enjoyed this one, give us a follow. Comment on here what army you're going to be collecting and let everybody know. Share the video, all that love. Because it really does go towards kind of helping push the algorithm and getting more people watching this content. And if you would like to support the site as well, there is an affiliate link to Element Games in the description. Anything that you order through there goes towards helping the kind of running costs and paying for putting all this together, which we do just as a hobby in our free time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you're looking forward to the new edition of the Middle-earth Strategy Battle game, and we'll see you soon.